Morning, YouTube. Lately I've just been thinking about what it means to live a spiritual-based life. And I think on a regular basis we are bombarded with what spirituality looks like through the lens of all the influencers online, of the tarot readers, of the channelers, of those that read energies or talk about crystals. And I don't think that's a holistic view of what it means to live a spiritual life. But it's hard not to develop an idea in one's head about what it means to live a spiritual-based life when we are constantly flooded with those type of images and energies. Especially when the only aspect of spirituality we are seeing are the ones that people have turned into their livelihood, into a business. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with creating a business around your spirituality. I think it just becomes problematic because when we only see one aspect of something, in this case spirituality, when we only see the business aspect, the marketable aspect of spirituality, we start to develop ideas in our head of what it means to live a spiritual life. And when our life doesn't look like that, when we are not drawn to tarot cards or crystals, or if we feel like we are not channelers, then we start to question if we're really living a spiritual life. And to top that off, we might partake in activities that people online say are low vibrational or not spiritual, such as like drinking or smoking or watching movies, TV shows, reading books that are maybe more violent or have suggestive content. But I don't think that's true. I don't think the activities we partake in make us spiritual or make us high vibrational. It's the person who's interacting with this, the person who is watching the show, the person who is consuming the alcohol or drug, the person who is channeling. Though the person, it's from the person that spirituality comes from. And if that person is very in touch with their spirit and has a quote-unquote high vibration, then whatever they interact with is going to have a higher vibration. And I think the same is true for those that have a lower vibration or that aren't spiritual or maybe live life from a darker place but do stereotypical spiritual things like read tarot or work with crystals, sound healing, all that stuff. Because I know many people who I believe live from their hearts and are spiritual, but they smoke probably 2 packs a day, or they drink alcohol regularly. And I also know the reverse, people that live life from a darker place but practice tarot, focus a lot on energy, and probably have a shit ton of crystals and plants all over their house. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that our habits and our interests don't make us more or less spiritual. They don't make us more or less high vibrational or low vibrational. So please don't get caught up in the appearances. Don't pigeonhole yourself into not partaking in activities you genuinely enjoy because you feel like it's not something a high vibrational person would do, or it's not something a conscious person would do. If you enjoy it, please by all means do it, because a part of living a spiritual based life is accepting all these aspects of ourselves and finding space for every part of ourself in our lives. I guess me personally, some activities that I partake in that maybe aren't quote-unquote spirituals, I really enjoy beer. I would enjoy a different substance, but the job I have does not allow for me to use that. It's a safety-sensitive job, so I choose to drink beer. And I think alcohol is one of the things that is heavily demonized by the spiritual community. And I understand why. I think too much of it obviously drop into an unconscious state. But I think in moderation. If you can drink without blacking out, who cares? If you want to drink to black out, you know what? Do whatever you want. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to yuck your yum. Or another thing is I really enjoy true crime. I actually just finished a book about a serial killer, BTK, and I imagine most people think that is not a high vibrational book. You're reading a book that is about someone who has tortured many people, but it's something that interests me. So to deny those aspects of myself, to deny that I like to drink alcohol, or to deny that I'm interested in reading true crime, I believe would lower my vibration because I'm not accepting that part of myself instead of expressing it. Anyways, I've kind of gone on a little tangent. Point of the video is just accept yourself and don't get caught in the ideas of what it means to be spiritual and living a spiritual-based life. As long as you're connected to who you are and living from a place of authenticity, from your heart, from your soul, whatever you do is spiritual. Alright, till next time. Peace. Oops.